Всем QqBtw, с вами как всегда Furych, и мы продолжаем проходить The Kingdom Come Deliverance. В предыдущей серии мы вроде бы как... Что мы в предыдущей серии? Выполняли задание Ʇыдьётьᴇᴇ. Очень много было довольно-таки заданий. Там на веру всякую вот это вот. В итоге мы почти что выполнили. Мне кажется, осталось последнее задание. Его там заперли. За то, что он ересь несет. Но, тем не менее, надо ей будет помочь. И продлимся также по сюжетной линии. По тому, кто делает все-таки фальшивые монеты. Ну что ж, let's go. Кто же этот человек? Или пан? Или who are him? Хорхим. А это Хорхим. Это Хорхим. Так, легу. Я надеюсь, в 7 часов уже будет нормально. Там паны проснутся. Или они, как всегда, до 9. Ладно, сейчас узнаем. Так, поехали. А этот уже на ногах, уже тут таскает, ё-моё. Так, поесть бы чего-то бы. Это обратно. У меня еды нету никакой, надо будет купить. Ну ладно. Пока что поедим из казанов. Тут еще вон казанчик есть, еще у стражи. Около ворот казанчик есть, так что нормально. Оп, еще один казанчик. Ну, изи. Вот и все. Сколько у нас? 64. Мало, конечно. Но я думаю, на первое время нам хватит. Поехали в замок. Поговорим там с каким-то паном или кто он там. Ну, ё-моё. Он выше, мне кажется. Тут, да, где-то. Нет здесь. А где же он? Не здесь. Значит, снизу, что ли? Походу, он снизу. Ладно. Ага. Хорошо. Закрыто пока что. Ну, для нас это не составит проблемой подождать. Да? Ага, закрыто. Ты кто? Горожан тут этот. С кем же нам поговорить надо там? Да ё-моё. Поговори с главным инженером. Отдай бумаги Ульриха Тобиашу Фейферу. А главный инженер и Ульрих Тобиаш Фейфер. А главный инженер, походу, тоже где-то тут. Либо это комната главного инженера. А Ульрих тогда где? Странно. Ну ладно. У нас тут 2, оказывается, задания. Даем... Че он так спит так долго? Горожан. Тарацик. Как-то все довольно-таки. Ты кто? Ага, это не... Это пташек спит. Александр кто-то там. Да ё-моё. А когда к ним приходить? Почему они так спят долго? Просыпайтесь, хватит спать. Я в шоке. Уже 2 час дня уже. Понимаю, вы, конечно, паны там великие. Цари там, еще кто-то. Все-таки необычные, да? Ну, надо же иметь тоже как бы совесть, да? Так, то бишь фейфор.
God be with you, lad. What can I do for you?
Master Fayfar, I need to speak with you. I found out something about the counterfeit coin.
Did you really? Do tell.
Close to Rovna, I came across a wagon that was transporting the false coins. Unfortunately, I came too late. The carter and his men were dead.
Damn and blast. Do you know who did it?
Yes. A certain knight turned up there. It turned out he was also after the forgers.
Well, that is indeed unexpected. Tell me, what did he say?
His name is Ulrich. He looked like a knight, but he refused to show his master's colours.
Ulrich, you say? Could be anyone. Can you describe him?
An older man with a moustache. But for all his grey hairs, he seemed pretty tough to me.
Doesn't match anyone I've heard of. But then we don't even know if Ulrich is his real name.
I asked him who his liege was, but he refused to tell me.
We live in such strange times. In days past, knights would vie with each other to see who could extol their liege's name the loudest. And today, they take assumed names, hide their emblems, and sneak around the land like thieves.
I got the impression he was hiding his identity because his master's at odds with Sir Radzig.
That may well be. As a staunch supporter of the king, Sir Radzig has many enemies.
He told me that the fake money was being taken to Passau in exchange for gold coins, then that real money was being brought back to the Bohemian lands.
That would explain why those fakes bear the Passau countermark.
His master is allied with the Passau alderman, and they told him to sort it all out.
I wonder who could be behind it all.
He gave me these documents to show you. He seemed to think they prove he was telling the truth. They're the records of the interrogations in Passau, and some other things he said you'd understand better than him.
Let me see. We, the aldermen of the city of Passau, interrogation held this day, put to pen by the questor. The place of origin is a monastery in the land of Bohemia. Which certainly confirms my suspicion that something underhand is going on in Sasso. Coin assay report. Copper core coated with amalgam. But this is interesting. Here's an outline description of how the forgeries are made. I'll have to study it more closely. We command Herr Ulrich to investigate and let no man stand in his way. This looks like the original safe conduct. It has the seal of the Passau alderman, but they certainly didn't pen this.
How do you know?
I recognize the hand. It's a Clement of Kaplitz, the high scribe of the Rosenbergs.
Кого?
The Rosenbergs? Who's that?
A rich and powerful family in South Bohemia. Burgrave Henry III is a great rival of our King Wenceslas.
So what does all this mean?
Well, it certainly explains why your knight is so mysterious. Anyway, we should be careful. And we shall begin our investigation. The documents show they use silver amalgam for coating copper fakes. That's a lead we can follow.
What?
Silver amalgam. It's produced from quicksilver and silver.
Well, that doesn't sound like something just anyone can get hold of.
You're quite right. You will go to Sasso at once. Look around the forges in the city. Someone must be working copper for them. I, meanwhile, will take counsel with Sir Radzig and then follow after you.
Where shall we meet?
At the inn on Sasso Market Square.
Master Fayfar, Sir Radzig sent me to you.
Did he? He must think highly of you.
I do the best I can.
That's good, because this is damned important. Silver's our most valuable asset.
How can I help with these, evil forebodings of yours?
Sir Radzig may make light of it, but a large quantity of silver has been discovered hereabouts, and no one is guarding the Skullets mines, the most likely source.
You really think someone could be stealing the silver from the mines? I would have thought that would be quite a job, wouldn't it?
It certainly would. which is why I'd like you to go and check out not only the mine gallery, but also the yard with the smelter and the waterworks. See what kind of state it's all in, and if anything looks suspicious.
Is that the yard next to the Skalitz mill?
That's the one. I don't know what state it's in now. There used to be a stock of charcoal and smelted silver there.
A silver store? Could there really be any left?
I doubt it. I'd be surprised if it was still standing at all.
You said mine gallery. Just one?
Boy, there's such a maze there that it would take a week to crawl through the place. There's only one gallery I'm interested in, at the foot of the hill by a small fish pond.
Why just that one?
Because I was expecting to find a scene there. All the indications pointed to it. So if anyone is stealing silver, it'll be right there.
What about these waterworks? What's there?
A stamping mill and washing troughs. They're on the bend in the river below the castle. You can't miss them. There are big tanks and equipment all around.
Should I be expecting trouble then?
Well, I definitely wouldn't treat the job like a visit to church on Sunday. You could find yourself facing that pack of hungry dogs trailing the army, or a band of brigands.
I see. Well, you and Sir Radza can rely on me. That's all clear. I'll get going.
Take care.
I'll have to get something to eat. I'm starting to get hungry.
I'm honored that you should come.
God
Так.
be with you.
Это, конечно, все хорошо. Стоп. А где? Где? Где этот макал? Я хочу это задание уже выполнить, и все, в принципе. Но я его найти не могу. Это макал. Где этот макал? Двоечек.
Rakes, spades, forks, and axes. All you need to tame Mother Nature.
Вольфом Пруда какой-то. Старый рух. Горожанин. Горожанин. Кудряшка. Камень. Бэрон. Бабы какие-то. Это уже загадка какая-то фрески. Могилам потопчемся, малеха, да? Помощник. Вид. Так, ладно. Да. Привет. Па-па-па-па-па. Чё у тебя тут хлеб? Я у тебя 3 куска купил бы. Скорее всего, тоже горожанин. Горожанин.
God be with you. Good luck then.
Корнелиус какой-то.
I'm glad to see.
О, стоп.
I could use some help in Pribislavis. I'm in charge of renewing the village, and they tell me you can read, write, and do sums.
Aye. But first this water-carrying job has to be settled. I can't go anywhere. Goodbye.
Короче, понятно. Всех надо набирать, когда уже все будет готово. Нищий. Опять горожанин. Где этот Макал? Ё-моё. Кто? Опа, это не Макал ли?
Watch what you're doing. There's people.
Похоже на
Did you
него.
hear about some?
Макал. Изи.
What do you need?
Let's find.
You put up quite a show last time, lad. Goodbye.
Поехали. Короче, ладно, ничего не понятно. Так, мне надо обратно в скалицу. Я сейчас где-то непонятно где, ну ладно. В принципе, дорогу я более-менее знаю, что и куда, да? Надеюсь, на меня сейчас не нападут. То я там турнир выиграл. Нет, ну, потому что не было всяких чудных Петров. Так, это я, получается, сейчас в ледочку попаду. Через ледочка... Угу, понятно. Мархаеда, я через Мархаеда вратаю. Ой, вратаю в этот. Перед скалицей, что там? Фигня какая-то. Заодно, кстати, и пофармим денег. Поубиваем там разбойников, всяких этих бакуганов. Ой, блин, это с самого начала надо будет. Там же опять в этой деревне разбойники эти. Ладно. Ʇᴱᴇᴜᴜ. Так, а нам не налево, не вправо надо было. Случаем ли? Угу.
Yeah. Yeah.
Что вот это вот за дом стоит тут посреди всего? Просто на отшибе. А это дом на отшибе, непонятно, что он тут делает и кто там живет в нем. Так, для начала в мейн зайдем. Там пофармим чуть-чуть. Потом к разбойникам. Всегда с лука начинаем. Качаемся по чуть-чуть. Почему? Мне все шмотки выложились.
Just when I wanted to vent my rage on something.
Да что такое? Как он меня высадил?
Is that all you?
Понятно.
Take that. You call that combat?
Да что это за рыцари? Короче, понятно. Нахрен. 20 на 1 такое себе. Да. Вот теперь можно. Чё ты за мной-то бегаешь ты? Черемуха. Та ёп ти гетик. Не. Так, ладно. Почему он длинный? Да ё-моё. Весит дофига, а стоит нифига.
Yeah.
Так, ладно, поскакали.
Yeah. Yeah.
Looks like they smashed things up nicely.
Нету этих бакуганов.
This is in surprisingly good condition.
Я думал, тут будут. Так, куда нам теперь? Ага,
Yeah.
понятно. Это сюда, что ли?
Yeah.
Так, а вот и развилочка. Найти штольню, о которой говорил мастер Фейфер. Штольню?
Yeah. Yeah.
Вот она, что ли? Тут заблокировано. Так, ладно, го починимся. Понял. Хюма.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Что это?
Yeah.
Уже не она.
Yeah.
Так, ладно.
This doesn't look too bad. I guess those bastards didn't want to get soaked.
Yeah.
Seems they had a good go at wrecking this, but it's still standing.
Blood will be spilled.
Что это? Вы кто нахрен?
What's the matter?
Давайте, вы клоуны.
I'm going to enjoy this.
Ты чё?
Is that all you've got? Hey, who's that? Are you? What's that?
Это прикол. Вы тут откуда нарисовались? Сколько вас тут? Ё-моё.
Well, I never. The pig.
Да что тебе надо, ты? Сопля. Так, это выкину нахрен. Какая тогда штольня мне нужна? Это что ли? Походу это. Он побежал. Нафига он побежал? А, это рудокоп. Ё-моё. Думал, товар какой-то. Да подожди, куда ты бежишь? Куда он бежит?
Hey! Do you hear me? Can you hear me? Are you alive? Come on, say something!
What? What do you want?
Just looking around.
You'd be wise to keep your nose out of here. This is a silver mine and no one's allowed.
But you're here.
I'm watching to make sure no one goes in. Something could fall on someone in there.
Don't worry your head about it. I won't steal anything and I'll watch my step.
But... Alright, off you go. But don't say I didn't warn you.
Hey! Hey, you there! What have you done?
Me? It wasn't me. It must have been one of your lot pushed him down the shaft.
If you hadn't come sniffing around, none of this would have happened.
What's my being here got to do with it? What the fuck's been going on? Whatever it is, now you've got a murder to answer for.
Only if someone finds out.
Listen, neighbours, don't be stupid. You don't want to add another murder to the count. It could have been an accident.
You know that was no accident. Or maybe you came to blows, pushed him down, and then we had to stop you.
That's ridiculous. If you all clear off out of here, I promise nobody will be asking what happened. Why add to your troubles?
Hey! Where are you going? You're not going to abandon us, are you? Not after all the good times we've had together? Don't you remember how we took care of everyone? Hey!
Кем драться, куда идти, ё-моё. А, вот этот, походу, да? Лук я возьму. Понятно. А лук чё? Понятно. А выбраться из рудника, то изи. Так. Куда эта лестница ведет? Наверх, да? А мне надо наверх?
You're in the wrong place.
Да ёптыгдык. Ну вы вот серьезно. Какой смысл? А, спуска нету. Офигенно. Ну чё ты тут встал-то, ё-моё? Встал посреди дороги.
What have we got here?
Нахрен они нападают на меня? Коложопа.
What are you doing here? Tired of life, are you?
Погано. Так, надеюсь, я в правильном направлении. Да ёб ты гадык. Город какой-то. А где я могу оказаться вообще? Да неужели? Так. Теперь мне надо... в Созаву, да? Значит, Созаве, кто работает с медиа. Так, ладно. Я сейчас вообще где? Вот этот вот вопрос. Ё-моё. Так, непонятно где я. Надо в какой-то лачуге поспать. Тут, допустим. Какой-то из лачуг надо поспать, окей, да, чтобы восстановить тебе энергию до утра. О-о-о. Отлично. Отлично, отлично. Все вроде прилично, но в то же время как-то не эстетично. Оу, нифига себе. Alright. 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 Everything I feel a fall. Wicked think I feel a grow. Так, засады, я надеюсь, не будет. Отлично. Ё-моё.
I know about you and her. She told me everything.
Oh? What exactly do you mean? You'd better be very careful what you say, boy.
I know you're a married man, but you haven't always been entirely faithful to your wife.
How dare you!
And you had to pick Johanka. I know all about it. And you should know it's finished. Johanka was feeling vulnerable when it was all too much for her. That's all. She and Matthias care for each other, so leave them alone. She doesn't want to have anything more to do with you. And she won't.
How dare you speak like that to a noble? You, a blacksmith's brat from Skalitz. If you weren't in Lord Kobila's charge, I'd have you whipped for your lies and dragged behind a horse all the way to Ratai. But whoever you might be hiding behind, next time I'll do just that. Now get out! Bye.
Sure.
God be with you.
I need something from you, sir. I suppose you heard that Johanka was locked up by the Inquisitor and is facing charges of heresy.
I did, and it's most disturbing news.
What you might not know is that he's agreed that I can defend her at the trial.
You? Do you even know what to say?
Sure I know. It'll turn out just fine. Trust me. But I need you to testify at the court. In Johanka's defense, of course.
Naturally. You don't think I could just sit here and do nothing? Besides, the bishop has already insisted that I appear before the court.
Oh. All right.
One moment. I apologize if I was a little hasty. This whole affair has left me anxious. I appreciate that you want to defend her. However, I don't think it would have any effect. No offense, but I don't think you'll be able to achieve anything in court. I'm afraid the Inquisitor will judge as he sees fit, whatever anyone says. But I have an idea how you could help.
Oh? How's that?
Flee. With Johanka, of course.
Huh. You might be right. But how? The bishop won't let anyone see Johanka.
Johanka is being held at the rat house, isn't she? You could pass yourself off as one of the Inquisitor's men, get in there at night, and escape with her.
How am I supposed to pass myself off as one of his men?
Well, when his guard came here, he identified himself by means of a document. If you could get your hands on it, think about it. But whatever you decide, if Johanka comes to any harm, you'll have me to answer to. I'm very fond of her, and her of me, and I don't want anything to happen to her, understand? But if everything ends well, I'll show you my gratitude, I assure you. Farewell.
Brother Nicodemus,
You've heard something?
The Inquisitor has decided that Johanka will be tried, but he's agreed that I can defend her.
That's really quite unusual. It must mean he hasn't come to a clear conclusion yet.
Yes. I'll get her out of it.
I'm afraid it may not be that easy. The thing is, I expect Johanka will say the same things before the court that she's been preaching.
What are you saying?
Well, I've been thinking about what she's been saying, and it seems to me her preaching has a certain progression. Are you acquainted with the notion of the three orders of man?
Not really, no.
It's like this. It's said that everyone has their God-given place and purpose on earth. Laboratores, oratores, and bellatores. Those who work, those who pray, and those who fight. The common folk are born to work, to reap the fruits of the earth and to obey the laws of God and man. It is the purpose of the nobles to protect the people and the church against all dangers and to maintain peace and justice on earth. And the church in turn has the task of caring for the spiritual welfare of all, ensuring the salvation of their souls and bringing solace to the people in times of hardship, so that they can endure their earthly trials and enter the kingdom of heaven.
But what's all that got to do with Johanka?
Well, I noticed in her first sermon she primarily addressed the concerns of the common folk, and in the second she criticized the nobility.
Ah. So you think she might start talking about the church?
Yes, I'm afraid she might. I dread to think how that might end up. Henry, you must warn her against that. She must show humility before the Inquisitor, and the wisest course would be to admit to being wrong. She's rather stubborn, but perhaps she'll listen to you.
But the Inquisitor said no one's allowed to see her.
No one except the Inquisitor's own men. You'll just have to think something up. I'm afraid Johanka's fate is mainly in your hands now. I'm relying on you. Goodbye.
Так, чё?
Let's talk.
Let's talk about... Есть, оказывается, это. Это торговля нахрен минус. Голда.
What actually happened here?
Johanka told me you went to Auschwitz.
Yeah? What's that got to do with anything?
The Inquisitor showed up here not long after you left. Apparently he heard about Johanka's preaching somehow. He even observed one of her sermons outside the town in disguise. He had her brought to him and spent a long time trying to discourage her from what she was doing. But then she went out again to preach about her visions outside of town. But before she even started, the Inquisitor turned up with Fabian and the guards. He said Johanka had ignored his outright ban, and he had her taken away. Then he warned the people there that Johanka was spreading heresy and undermining the church's authority, and forbade them to listen to her.
It sounds pretty serious.
It is. I'm afraid it could be very serious indeed.
What exactly does an Inquisitor do?
The Inquisition is a papal institution that deals with heresy, so people don't succumb to charlatans, false prophets and deceptions, and put their faith and their immortal souls in jeopardy. The Inquisitors have all sorts of powers, the kind we here can do very little to stand up to.
And what can he do to Johanka?
I'm not entirely sure. These legal issues are very complicated, but he could certainly excommunicate her, and maybe even sentence her to death.
Хрена себе.
Who is this Bishop Yaroslav?
I've never heard of him before, but the prior has. He said he's very well learned and the Bishop of Sarepta.
Sarepta? Where's that, Moravia?
No, it's far, far away, near the Holy Land. He got the title from the Holy Father himself.
And this bishop came all the way here from whatever?
Sarepta, but I doubt he's ever been there. It used to be a bishopric in the days of the Apostolic Fathers in Phoenicia, near Israel, but it was ransacked by the Muslims. Now it's just a titular bishopric. And Yaroslav is the titular bishop.
Titular bishop? Like he's not a real one?
It's, let's say, an honorary title. It refers to a diocese that no longer exists. And since a titular bishop has no diocese to oversee, he can devote himself to handling other very important church affairs, like ordaining other prelates, for example, to maintain succession through the centuries down from the time of Christ and his apostles.
Do you believe Johanka is really being visited by the Virgin Mary?
Well, yes, Henry, I do. The things she says and the way she speaks. She doesn't sound like herself at all. I know she can't read, so where else could she have got it? Frankly, I can't think of any other explanation. Within the bounds of this world.
Понятно.
Witnesses can be summoned for Johanka's trial. So I wanted to ask you if you'd give a testimony. Maybe some learned speech in her defence?
I'd be glad to do it. Johanka deserves my help. Such testimonies could carry a lot of weight. You should try and get as many as you can.
Понятно. Так, кто тут нужен? Свидетель показания Аделлы. Понятно. Скажи инквизитору, когда ты будешь готов к суду. Ага. Свидетель показания отца Фабиана. Ага. Свидетель показания Ритрих. Ага, Ритрих. Блин, Гуты. С Гуты, конечно, у нас выйдет не очень хорошо.
Adela, the Inquisitor is going to try Johanka in court.
Oh, Lord. I hope she's acquitted. I was absolutely devastated when they took her away.
I need people to speak in her defence, and I'd like to ask you to do it.
I don't want to go there. Really. I'm afraid of that Inquisitor. But you helped me, and so did Johanka. It's only right that I should try and help her. But what am I supposed to say there? I'm just a simple village girl. I don't know anything about these things.
That doesn't matter. You just be yourself. It should be enough to talk about all the good Johanka does here, and how she helps others. I'll send for you if you're needed.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Так, нет, я еще не готов. Где мой конь? Так, это возле оружейника, значит. Так, вот это вот все возьму пока что, да? Да ёпта, ты. Чё, угорайте?
I'm honored that...
See you later.
Тема.
Lest.
Нормально. Так, бронику бы сходить.
Come closer, my friend. Marvel at the items on offer today. Reflection of their true value.
God's...
Good luck, then.
Ладно. Так.
Let's talk.
Cože je to za dědina nedaleko Hodonína? Je tam Sudenka.
Так, стоп,
See
нет.
you later.
Опа, навык какой-то, починка 20. Подожди.
Problems with stomach ulcers?